Thank you. I like to do things kind of just different. And so I'm going to start my remarks out like this. So I have a chance to go into middle school, high schools, and sometimes as I begin my remarks, I say, how many of you have lost a family member, a relative to violence? And it always amazes me when more than half of the room raises their hand. More than half. So I want this mother to join me with her sign of her son. And I think there's another family over here, Brian, the family of Brian Watts. If you would join me. Is there anyone else, any other family victims?
All of these people behind.
Okay.
Brian's birthday would have been today, too.
Today?
Today
Well,
was
happy
his
birthday to Brian. I know he's smiling down.
26th.
And so when I think about the work that the Detroit Police Department does each and every day, the only time I can wave a flag of success is we stop the violence and we bring justice to these families. So let me tell you a short story. So I've been here almost 5 years. And Todd, I'd like you to join me too, because you're a strong partner of mine in this fight. Let's give Todd Bettison, Deputy Chief Bettison, a round. 5 years ago, and Deputy Chief Bettison will tell you, mothers of murdered children, I couldn't walk in the door. They didn't want anything to do with me. I don't know what they thought. I don't know if they thought I was a politician. We had one of the lowest clearance rates to homicides in the country. I'm talking 11%, you read about it. We had a police department that was demoralized. We had a community that didn't talk to the police department. So how were we going to solve crimes? So I knew two things right up front. I needed those mothers, those families, to trust this police department. No, we would do everything we can to bring them a sense of justice, but more important, continue to drive violence down. So now look at 5 years later. I'm still not waving a flag of success. Progress, yes. Steady decline in violence. The organization, Mothers of Murdered Children, we work together. In fact, they volunteer in our homicide unit. They work alongside our homicide detectives. Clearance rate right now in the city of Detroit, the Detroit Police Department is at and above at times the national average, 60%. Thank you. And yes, last year we ended last year with the lowest number of homicides in 50 years. Still too many. We know that one is too many. And we're seeing a decline even this year on top of last year's low numbers. So our work does continue. And the only way our work will continue is we bring justice to these families. We know, and I've said time and again, the streets know what happened.
Yes, they do.
And when we stand together in unison as one, we win. Because the people that perpetrate violence against our community, they only represent just a small number. So if it's more of us, we should always be winning. This is not political speak. This is real talk. I've seen it in other cities. I look at my old home in Los Angeles. There was a time they had 2,000 murders a year. Would it surprise you to know a city of 4 million, their murder rate is almost where we are. 4 million people. And you ask why? Because people say we're fed up. We're not going to let the criminals win. And in Detroit, we are not going to let the criminals win. Are we in this together?
Yes.
So I encourage us. You have a partner in the Detroit Police Department. I want to applaud Crime Stoppers for 25 years of service in Southeast Michigan.
All right.
Oh, yes. And I just want you to know, I'm in this fight with you. I know there's a lot of frustration, especially when you have a loved one and the crime has never been solved. I'm frustrated with that. I think about the children that have been shot, and somebody knows. So let's stand together. As Deputy Chief Bettison knows, I absolutely hate to talk. I'm more about action. Let's do something, stop talking. And I just want to also say something that they don't get enough credit. I want to give credit to our friends in the media, because anytime we need to get information out by a violent predator, they get it out. And because they get it out, people will call us or call 1-800-SPEAK-UP. And you've heard me say, we know who you are. So do yourself a favor, turn yourself in, because if you don't, we're gonna come get you.
Amen.
And when I say that, it's worked. And the only way I could say it and we could do it is because of our friends in the media. So with that, I'm done. I just want to say thank you, and may God bless all of you.